I want to talk to you today about love and acceptance for self. How loving and accepting yourself will be the greatest validation of all. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Divine Healing with Love channel. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for your kind words, your love, your support. I really love all of you. I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you all so much. Welcome back to my capital LOVE tribe. I love you all so much. Thank you. So let's talk about love and acceptance for self. Self-acceptance, self-love. You know, that's the greatest validation of all. That is literally the greatest validation of all. Having that love for yourself, accepting yourself as you are, and really loving yourself for who you are and what you bring. That's the greatest love of all. That's the greatest validation of all. Because when we love ourselves and we see ourselves the way our Creator sees us, whether you say God, Source, universe, spirit, most high, doesn't matter. Whatever you believe in, when you see yourself and love yourself the way God loves you, that's when you're able to see it. That's the greatest love of all. The greatest love of all. The greatest validation of all. So for me, for example, I talked about this in another video, but I struggled with self-love, self-acceptance. I did not love myself really until about a year ago. And from the day that I really realized that I do love myself, the love has literally increased every single day. Every single day, I love myself more. Every single day, I accept myself more. And it's so beautiful. So before I started like really loving myself, once I was going through like that dark night of the soul period and really, because at that time I was like awake now, I was waking up to who I am, what I'm meant to do, my purpose. But I was in that period of darkness because everything was being stripped away so I could come and rise up as who I'm supposed to be. So when I was going through that, I would have moments where, I would get like dressed up and really feel more love for myself because I looked a certain way. And I was like, oh, I look good. Oh, I'm a bad bitch. I was saying being like, oh, you a bad bitch, but I started realizing like being a bad bitch, like in the morning, do you still feel like a bad bitch? I mean, some of you may be like, yeah, I do, but like, are you loving yourself from a place of authenticity and truth? Or are you loving yourself from ego? Because when I was like, oh, I'm a bad bitch, that was ego. Ego was driving it. That was all ego. That was me telling my ego, feeding myself, and like, yeah. And then I would post something on social media and look to that for the validation, to validate the fact that I feel like I am a bad bitch. But I was like, when I started to like really like pull the layers back and really love myself and really do more healing, I started to realize that like, no, you're not a bad bitch. You're an empress. You're a goddess. Come on. That doesn't compare. Like, yeah. And, I was looking for that affirmation from others to make me feel what I truly didn't feel to begin with. Because again, that was ego. That was my ego like, oh, you're a bad bitch. And I'm not saying that because you call yourself a bad bitch, you're coming from a place of ego. I'm not saying that. I'm just speaking in terms of like myself and my own journey. Okay. So I don't want you to feel like, oh, please don't. This is just myself and my journey. This is what I had, the understanding that I had to come to and the realization that I had to come to. Like when I was saying like, oh, you're this, that was really ego. That wasn't real love for myself, my journey. So I had to realize that that wasn't real. That was my ego. That was my ego feeding it to me and telling me. But when I was able to really start to love myself, really just encourage myself and keep telling myself, like, what do you love about you? Like looking in the mirror. I had to look in the mirror because when I was younger, even I can remember this from being a child. I used to look in the mirror and tell myself everything I hated about myself. You know, I hated this, I hated that. I don't like the way you look. It was everything. I would pick myself apart. So now, once I started healing, I had to look in the mirror and no makeup, my hair just in its natural state, just all of those, I had to pull everything back. All those layers are gone. The layers that made me feel like the bad bitch. You know, at the time, it was straight hair. It was, you know, makeup, like all of those things. Like I always felt like but when I wasn't loving myself, I would feel like, oh, you're cute. But I never felt like I was beautiful or gorgeous like I do now. I feel like I am I do say that about myself now, but at the time I didn't. So I had to like look at myself with curly hair, my natural hair, no makeup, naked in the mirror, and tell myself, what do you love about yourself? What do you love? Look at yourself. Go from top to bottom, head to toe. What do you love about yourself? And that's how I started to love and accept myself. I had to tell myself, I love your nose. I love your forehead. I love the way your arms move. Like just all of those things like that we would use, or even like that we get fed to from society to make us feel bad. Like, oh, if a woman's arms do like this, you know, or whatever, she's not, oh, you gotta tighten, you have to tone, you have to do this and that. Like, yeah, okay, I know. I could tighten up some more. I'm working on it. Work in progress, toning some more. But I look good. And it was like, I had to say that to myself. And I'm not saying that, you know, you don't look in the mirror and you don't see things that you want to improve upon. I'm not saying that at all. Always work harder for self-improvement and to become your best version and to become better. Always do that. But you have to stop and be able to accept yourself where you are right now. You can find some beautiful things about you, and that you don't have to associate it from a place of ego. You know, your place of ego may be different from mine. My place of ego was the bad bitch thing. Like I said, I used to, you know, oh, I'm a bad bitch tonight, you know, but it wasn't real because I didn't feel like the bad bitch in the morning. I'm back to not even liking the way I look. So, you know, now I'm like, you're an empress. You're a goddess. Like, that's my thing now. You know, it's no more bad bitch. No, you're an empress. You're a goddess. You're beautiful. You know, and I had to come to that place of acceptance and love. And now, when I do post on social media, I do it for me. I don't do it, you know, to get validation. I don't do it to see what people are going to say, see how people are going to comment. Like, I do it for me. This is for me. This is for me documenting my journey, because honestly, I don't know about you all, but I know for my social media, I like to look at my journey. I like to look at what I looked like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, to what I look like now, to see how much I've grown, to see how I've matured, to see, you know, maybe, you know, oh, maybe I want to revisit that hair color. I don't know. Like I was looking at some pictures the other day and I was like, maybe I'll go back to blonde, try blonde for a little bit again. I don't know. But, you know, now it's for me. It's not to, it used to be to get affirmation and validation, but no, not anymore. It's for me now because I validate myself. Stamped and approved. I don't need anyone to validate me. Now when I go out, however I look good. And I don't need anyone to tell me that. I don't need anyone. Of course, if anyone does tell you, if anyone does give you that compliment affirmation, that's just a bonus. You have to just look at it like this is just a bonus. But this is something that you already know, and it's not from ego. It's from pure love and truth and authenticity. And you don't need anyone to tell you that. Again, it's just a bonus. It's just the cherry on top. So I want to talk about it. Let's talk about it in the comments. Let's talk about, like, you know, do you have a place? Some people say, you know, their alter ego. You know, what does that mean to you? Does that the place that you go to love yourself? Because like I said, again, that alter ego for me, it wasn't exactly an alter ego, but it was a place of ego. It was the whole bad bitch thing, you know, but I've dropped that now. I love myself and I accept myself. So I don't feel like I need that. So, like, is it an alter ego place, or, you know, what does that look like for you? What does it look like for you? And, you know, why do you feel the need to do it? How can you love and accept yourself more from where you are right now? Because you're only going to get better and you're only going to improve. You're going to keep growing. You're going to keep getting stronger, more beautiful, more graceful, more dignified. It's only going to go up from here. So let's talk about it. So we're going to stop right here for right now. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. Thank you. Thank yourself for showing up. I'm proud of you, showing up for yourself and loving yourself. Thank you all so much. If no one told you that they love you today, I love you. I'm sending you so much love. Please like the video. Please comment below. Let's talk about it. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.